but I got a box. I got a box. Look, in the mail. You want to see what it is? Sure you do. Who wouldn't want to see what's in my box? Look, it's a sticker for the back of the truck. Oh, it's upside down. The Sands in the Surf sticker, so you can identify my truck and slash my tires if I give you bad fishing advice. All right, we're gonna put that on the truck, and then we're gonna go fishing. I haven't been able to catch any bait. Like, I've been down fishing since Saturday. I went down a couple times, and it's really calm actually right now. Probably good right now, right? But I'm not fishing. But it's been really choppy, and it's been hard to get. I guess there's bait running, but the waves have just been too rough, and to throw the cast net, and I just can't even seem to find them. So I gave up on that. I went over to Dutchman's Creek, and I got a double drop. No, wait. A triple drop rig, a triple drop tourist rig. And we're gonna get some shrimp. We're gonna go down to the surf and see if we can catch something besides the blue fish that I wanted to get with the live fish, but it's okay. The live bait. Okay, before we go fishing, they always tell me you have to tell people to subscribe. Like, ask them, hey, why don't you subscribe to my channel? So listen, I'm going to leave it up to you. If you want to subscribe, and every time I post a video it dings or something, it's supposed to be the right thing to do. So I always forget to ask you, and I'm always supposed to do that. So I've done it now. This is my one time. I probably won't do it again because I always forget. Let's go get the fishing rods and do some real fishing. Let's go. So the week started out with our fishing seminar. On Friday night we met. The Oak Island Parks and Rec puts on a fishing seminar, and we met for the in-class session, and then Saturday morning we met on the beach at 7 a.m. That's why it's dark, for the in the surf session, if you will. And the sun was just coming up, and there's the Oak Island Lighthouse. But in a few minutes, the sun did come up, and all the students from the class were there, and they got their bait ready. We provide the bait, and they bring their rods, and we teach them how to cast if they need it, teach them how to put on bait if they need it, whatever they need to learn, we help them out with. And our first fish we got right away is pompano right here, so that was pretty nice. I mean, they have a lot of fun, even if they catch pompano that are too small, or in this case a croaker. I think you might have to turn around and put this on a bigger hook for to bait to see if we can get some blues. The surf, again, as I mentioned before, was choppy, and I couldn't catch any bait, so we were only using shrimp. We weren't using any live bait, but we were still catching some fish and having a lot of fun, and that's really what it's all about. Now, I learned stuff from the students as much as they learned from me. Like, look at this. I was like, where'd you get that float? And he was like, it's a flip-flop. He uses like a pipe to cut holes in a flip-flop. And then he was like, let me show you something else. Because I was telling him how I keep my rigs wrapped on a float noodle, like a pool noodle. And he was like, look what I got. And these are baseball card holders. And he had each one of his rigs in the baseball card holder. So how clever is that? So they don't get all tangled up. So eventually we started catching some nice fish. Here we got a whiting right here. So it got me excited, and I'm like, I want to go fishing. So I went over to Dutchman's Creek because I needed some new rigs. I needed some new hooks. So in front of the place, by the way, is one of those pinto palms. You can make the palm jelly. I'll put a link at the top here. But inside the store, it is loaded with stuff, which is just so much fun. Even though it's a small store, it is packed with fishing gear. So the first thing I wanted to look at was hooks, because I wanted to get a pack of hooks. A lot of people ask me, like, what size do you use? And I'm going to tell you right now, there are so many hooks, but I use a circle hook, and I like either a number 1 up to like a number 1/0. So on the package, it would be like a number 1, or it would be like a 1/0. That's a 1/0. And and different brands actually are very similar, different sizes. No, that's too big. Put that one back. That's for sharks. That's not a 1/0. But different brands, the sizes can be different, so it's a little tricky. I actually got a 1 from one and a 1/0 from the other, and they were actually the same size when you looked at them visually, compared them. They were the same size. But anyway, both circle hooks. And then I said, let me pick up a tourist rig. Now, someone had asked me about the steel tourist rig. The steel tourist rig is a double drop rig is really what it's called, right? And so I said, let me get one of these, and if I can get back to getting some live bait, I'm going to see how they hold up with the blues, see how well they worked. And then I saw another one, and it was not a double drop, but a triple drop. It had 3 spots for hooks on it, and of course the weight, and I was like, well, I can't pass that up. So I grabbed one of those. And that we are going to take down to the surf and try it right after we leave the store. The next thing I needed to do was get some weights, and I wanted to show you a Sputnik weight. I wanted to pick one up if they had the right size, because I talk about them a lot. This is one right here, and it looks like the little Sputnik, like the satellite, right, from Russia. So that was like an 8 ounce or something, and this is like a 2 ounce. I was trying to find that one that was a 4. So they had this weird one. I haven't used this before. It's just got a shorter stem to it, if you will, but basically it's the same, works the same way. The little wires get stuck into the sand and hold it, and then when you want to reel it in, the wires open up and break away. I also tried some different bait. This is, I think my wife picked this up at Publix, and it's kind of nice because instead of being that frozen bait that's kind of cut in the bucket you usually get, this isn't like suspended in water. It's more like they're just frozen together, and they're like whole shrimp, so you got to cut the head off, and they're a little gookier and stuff, so I kind of like them. So here's my thing. 1, 2, 3 number 1 or 1/0 hooks. I tried a couple of each with a number 4 pyramid weight rough waves that I'm not catching any live bait in. So let's cast it out and see what we can get with this. I'm excited. Now look, I just lobbed that. Did you see that cast? That was a lousy cast because I didn't really want it to go that far. These fish are close in. They're just past the breakers. I'm not having to cast a mile to get them. And of course, right away I pull up the pompano. Pompano is a great fish to eat if you can catch a decent size one. Unfortunately, this guy was small, like all the ones I've caught this summer. So he's going back into the water there, splash around. But then I got a really big hit, and I was very excited about it because I was like, this is a decent fish. So I'm reeling him in, and I'm like, what can this possibly be? And it was a spot. I'm like, yes, are the spot running? I'm like, and then I looked at him like, this is a big spot. This isn't like a little pinfish spot. This is like a big size spot. I'm like, I'm keeping this. If I can get another one, I'm having fish tacos. So I put him in the bag. Look at that. I don't know if you can tell, but I have big hands. That's a big spot. And I put up a good fight. And then I cast out again, and I caught finally, this is probably the best whiting I have caught all summer. I haven't caught a lot of big ones, but this one was finally decent, and I'm going to add him to the pot with the spot. We're going to be making some fish tacos. So that about wrapped it up. I'm going to try and get out there again later this week with some live bait. But from now, if you get down there, try that Publix shrimp. Try that triple drop rig. Pretty cool. Get out and fish. Let's go.